Joining me now is Ohio Democratic Senator Greg Landsman. Congressman, excuse me. We appreciate you making some time for us today. Didn't mean to mix up the title there, but I appreciate you making the time. I do want to put up the statement that you posted on Monday, and we'll show it to our viewers here. President Biden has to be able to make this case clearly to the American people again and again and again. Now's the time for action, but time is running out. Are you calling on President Biden to withdraw if he can't clearly make the case against former President Trump?
Well, like Pelosi said today, and we all have a tremendous amount of respect and admiration for Nancy Pelosi, it's his call, and it is. And my hope, and what I've said publicly, privately, is that the stakes are so high that we've seen fascism on the rise around the country, around the world. You've got countries that have batted it down and countries that have not. We're in the middle of a moment where we have to look at Trump, who is unfit to be president, tried to overturn an election, which is disqualifying, and appreciate that this is a type of authoritarianism, and it can't happen on our watch. We don't want that to happen to the country that we love so much. Now, he's got other issues, Trump, in terms of his the fact that he took reproductive freedom away from tens of millions of women and girls, that he's wasted trillions of dollars on billionaires and big corporations at the expense of us. But the big disqualifying factor for Trump is that he undermined our democracy. And I took an oath to ensure that we protect our democracy.
Absolutely.
And yeah. So my feeling is that Biden has to make the case that Trump is not fit, and that he is the one to beat him. And if he could do that, great. If he can't, then he's got to say so.
If he can't, he's got to say so and step away, in your estimation, or so that question. And then also, what does making the case actually look like? If you were to list out the things that say, this is an effective way for this nominee, this potential presumptive nominee, to make the case, what does that look like?
Well, it's going to take a lot of work, and a lot of interviews, town halls, maybe call into places. Not necessarily a D.C.-based show, but calling into Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and being able to articulate the case against Donald Trump, why he's unfit to be president, how he will upend our democracy and our lives, Trump, and do it over and over and over again until the tide turns. If he can pull that off, there were 40 million people who watched the debate. So this isn't going to be something he can pull off over the course of a couple days, and he's certainly not going to be able to pull it off by reiterating that he's staying in the race over and over and over. He's got to make the case about why Trump is unfit, and he's the only person who can win this, because our democracy really is on the line.
And so that's what I'm trying to get an understanding of your opinion about, right? We saw this letter that the president sent to you and to your colleagues on Monday, where he said some of the things you just mentioned. He wrote, I wouldn't be running again if it didn't absolutely believe I was the best person to beat Donald Trump in 2024. So do you agree with President Biden? Is he the best person, the best Democrat, to beat Donald Trump in 2024?
He also said, Biden also said, that there were 50 other people who could beat former President Trump. So I think that's
which is different from what he's saying currently, right?
Well, I think he said that a couple days ago. I could be wrong, but I did see a clip of that. And I do think there are lots of folks, and maybe Biden is included in that, but we can't take any chances. If Trump were any other Republican, I don't think you would see this kind of reaction to what happened at the debate. There would be concern, obviously. Democrats want to win. The problem here is that Trump is not a normal Republican. he will break this democracy because the only thing he cares about is himself. He will put himself above our democracy, as he did on January 6th. And he worked on trying to upend that election for months. He is a chaos agent, an extremist who will, I think, destroy what's core to who we are, our democracy and our freedoms.
Given that, if you think that Trump is this existential threat to democracy, are Democrats putting your best foot forward to stop him with this candidate at this moment?
This is the discussion that's happening right now, and I think it's an important one. And I don't think anyone should try to silence or quell this. And I hope the White House stops. I think this is an important conversation for not just Democrats. The country's having this conversation. People back home, Democrats, Republicans, Independents. I'm hearing it from everybody. They're having this conversation because the anti-Trump majority in this country, anti-Trump coalition in this country is, I believe, a majority of voters. And they deserve the best possible candidate. Now, if Biden can prove that, he's got a couple of weeks. Otherwise, I do believe, a change will have to happen. But again, as Nancy Pelosi said, that's his call. It is his decision. So he has to decide whether or not the stakes are so high, right? Because it's me, it's my kids, it's you, your kids. We're the ones that are going to have to deal with this, which is what happens if we lose our democracy? What happens if freedoms aren't restored, aren't protected? What happens if this economy remains rigged for the super wealthy at the expense of the folks I represent? There's a lot on the line, and I think the president, I hope, is weighing all of that and will ultimately make a decision that's best for the country, not the party, but for the country.
And you say maybe in the next couple of weeks that is something that could have to happen. Congressman Greg Landsman, we appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.